The announcement date for the Canon EOS R6 Mark III has been all over the place. Well, I'm happy to report that we're able to narrow down the announcement date. And the bad news? While we have an update on the specs, they're still largely unvalidated. Well, with the exception of a few. The big question is the R6 Mark III worth the wait? Well, I'll answer this question in this video. But first, I have a simple and yet humble request. Please subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps this channel grow, and it keeps you informed of the latest camera gear, such as the Canon EOS R6 Mark III. Dates for the Canon EOS R6 Mark III have been all over the place, kind of like a dog eating its dinner. At first, we were expecting the announcement to be in Q4 of 2024. That's what all the sources were telling us. But that very quickly changed to being Q1 of 2025. But now, we're being told that Canon is scheduled to announce the EOS R6 Mark III as well as 2 lenses. Canon Rumors goes on to say that this information comes from an authorized retailer. And considering most sources are telling us that the EOS R6 Mark III is due to be announced in Q2, this really isn't that much of a surprise, other than we're getting several lenses. And because the R6 is what we would consider, well, a pro-level camera, we're kind of expecting that they're going to be L-series lenses. But what about the specs of the Canon EOS R6 Mark III? These were the rumored specs published in 2024. They weren't validated then, and they haven't been validated now. Many of these make sense, like a 24 megapixel sensor. Then we have the digic accelerator, an AI processor that helps with autofocus. And the good news is that the R6 Mark III is getting the exact same autofocus system that we got in the R5 Mark II. And of course we get Canon's useless in-camera noise reduction. But the other specs seem a little bit too specific, like the same cinema menu system as the R5 Mark II, as well as some resolutions and codecs. Why is this strange, you ask? And I know, we got a lot of detailed specifications for the Canon EOS R5 Mark II. But the thing is, when we're this far away from an announcement, or actually going back to 2024 when we're getting a lot of leaked specifications for the R6 Mark III, the thing is, those detailed leaked specifications, well, they never pan out. It's usually somebody's attempt to forecast something and pass them off as inside information. Remember these specifications from Black Friday of 2022? Look how detailed they are. And then these, a little bit later, about a year later, talking about a 60 megapixel sensor, then a 61 megapixel sensor. I even put out a video about that first R5 Mark II leak specifications for Black Friday of 2022, and I came across 5 red flags. And it just didn't pan out to me, and sure enough, well, none of those specs came to pass, and it was supposed to be announced in, well, the first half of 2023, and 2023 came and passed. So whenever we're a long way away from specifications and they're detailed, or long way away from the announcement and the specifications are very detailed, I usually take them with a grain of salt. And everything that we're seeing for the Canon EOS R6 Mark III currently today are detailed going back into 2024. And, well, I'm not the only one that feels this way. We don't put a lot of stock into detailed specifications, at least so far in advance of an announcement. What I liked about this post from Canon Rumors is it did shed a light on what some of the specifications are going to be for the Canon EOS R6 Mark III. It's going to get a new LCD design, one that mimics Sony Alpha cameras. And Canon Rumors thinks that it could actually get an OLED display. Well, at least a 50% chance of that happening. But at this point, all sources are pointing to a 24 megapixel stacked sensor, the same sensor found in the Canon EOS R3. Canon Rumors also thinks it's going to get a CF Express Type B card slot, the digic accelerator, and the Canon EOS R5 Mark II's autofocus system. With these specifications, the stacked full-frame 24 megapixel sensor from the Canon EOS R3, the R5 Mark II's autofocus system, along with a digic accelerator and a CF Express Type B card slot, well, we don't need leaks to tell us that Canon has to put these capabilities in the R6 Mark III, at least to be able to not beat the competition, but to match the competition. The 4-axis and 5-axis LCDs from the Sony Alpha cameras are very well received by photographers. And the Nikon Z6, well, it's had CF Express Type B cards for generations. And the Canon EOS R5 Mark II with its autofocus and that new Digic accelerator that we saw in the R5 Mark II and the R1, not putting that in the R6 Mark III, well, that would smell of arrogance. That would not meet the competition. I'm actually surprised that the R6 Mark II didn't have a single CF Express Type B card slot. Nikon's been doing it with the Z6 for several generations now. And with Sony, I really do like how they've done their LCDs. Now, my favorite is with the A7R5 with that 5-axis LCD. The R6 Mark III, I do get a sense that Canon is going to work really hard on this camera, and that what we're going to get at the end of May is a, how shall we say, an industry segment new leader to dethrone the current segment leader, the Nikon Z6 Mark III. And the Nikon Z6 Mark III is a terrific camera. It's been selling at $21.96 for a few months now. That's $300 off its introductory price of $24.96. But I get it, many of you are Canon customers, then maybe, just maybe, instead of the R6 Mark III, consider getting the EOS R6 Mark II. It's currently $200 off of its new reduced price, but that's down $500 from its introductory price just 2 years ago. At $19.99, the Canon EOS R6 Mark II is a really good price. It's a good bargain. Buying that camera is all you need to be able to start a photography business. If you want to do fashion or portrait photography, and with the right lenses, you could even do wildlife and sports photography. Although I'd probably recommend the R3 or the R1 for that sort of stuff. What I'm trying to get at is, I think that for $19.99, the R6 Mark II offers incredible value. But if you don't think so, what sort of enhancements are you looking forward to in the Mark III? Let us know in the comments section down below. I really think that the R6 Mark III is really going to polish a lot of things, from stills to video. What we're seeing with Canon with new lenses like the 35mm f1.4, the 50mm f1.4, and the 24 f1.4 VCM lenses is that Canon is thinking a little bit more video with everything they do. Now, I'm currently shooting with the Canon EOS, or the Canon RF 50mm f1.2, and I like this lens, but you know what? I like the 1.4 a lot better. Sure, it's lighter, and that's nice. It's great for travel. But it also has a shorter minimal focus distance of some 6 inches. That's huge. That's an awful lot. I've always found with the 50mm f1.2, I'd get a little bit too close, and then it would be out of focus, and I don't find that problem with the 1.4. It's also silent, which is great for video. Now, there is one point where I think the 1.2 is certainly a whole lot better, and that's when it comes to the depth of field and the bokeh. The bokeh, even though f1.2 doesn't seem like it's that much wider and faster than f1.4, it really makes a huge difference. So if bokeh matters an awful lot to you, then yeah, the 50mm f1.2 matters. And that's kind of where I'm going back to the R6 Mark II versus the R6 Mark III. What is it that Canon would put in the R6 Mark III that would get you to purchase it? Let me know in the comments section down below. And if you are interested in purchasing any camera gear such as the Z6 Mark III, as well as the Canon EOS R5 Mark II, or even the R5, I think it's back down to $29.99, then please consider using my affiliate links in the description down below, these guys right here, to B&H and Adorama, because quite honest folks, they literally help keep this channel going, literally keeping the lights on, the key light, which I finally got angled on me properly, and the fill light, and it's very much appreciated. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have yourself a great week, and we'll see you again soon. Real soon. I got another video coming out tomorrow morning. Cheers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.